What is going on, everyone? It is Tyler McKinney back here again, and today we're going to get back into the XFL. We're going to get back to what you guys have requested, and that is finishing up our grading of the XFL uniforms. Today, we're going to go ahead and we're going to look at the New York uniform. If it's your first time here, hey, I'm glad to have you. If you're a return viewer, thanks for coming back. Thanks for watching more videos. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. And remember, leave me all those comments down in the comment section. I love interacting with you guys down there. You guys come up with some pretty awesome stuff, so I love seeing it. And remember, if you give me some good comments, I'll try to go ahead and feature those in an upcoming video. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and let's get into the content for today. So if you've got it, get your red pens ready. We're going to go ahead and dive into the New York Guardians. Just to recap, remember, we're grading everything based on 3 different categories. We're looking at the helmet, we're looking at the overall home uniform, and then we're looking at the away uniform. We're taking those 3 scores, we're adding them up together, we're dividing it by 3, and that's going to give us our score for the team. All right, let's go ahead and let's look into it. Starting off with the helmet. Man, do I like the helmet. I feel like I'm back in Egypt. I'm back in Egypt. I've never been to Egypt. But listen, I feel like we're back in Egypt. I feel like we're right there looking up at the side of the Sphinx. I've got this whole Egyptian kind of vibe with this look. And granted, I know that it has nothing to do with that. But just the way that they've designed it, it almost has that like lion, like cat-like features to it, and especially like the way that they've kind of done the back of it. And I know that those lines and everything are kind of paying homage to kind of the stone structures and everything of the gargoyles of kind of New York. But man, it just gives me those those kind of really edgy, hard, just kind of Egyptian kind of a feel to it. I don't know. I really, really like it. All right. Looking at the actual helmet, the black, the flat black, I love that. I love the look of the flat black. And I love how it's mixed with the silver color here. That silver color and the way that those gargoyle heads are kind of cocked with that. It's like they're ready. They're ready to attack. They're in attack mode, and man, it's just awesome. It's powerful. There's just power in that. And I know I've kind of already gone over this in the branding, so I'm trying to get through it quick and actually really look at the helmet here. So the helmet, the flat black throughout all of it's really, really nice. Having the logo oversized and covering both sides and being very, very prominent with really nothing else, I think it's really good. It's keeping it very, very simple, but also giving it really kind of character and detail and strength. And I like the accent with the red here. The red eyes and the red teeth, it kind of gives it the idea that they are ready. That, that's kind of like the eyes, they're seeing red, they're, ready to attack. They've kind of been provoked, they're ready to go, and kind of the blood in the teeth, they've already tasted blood and they're out for more, they're out to get more. I really, really like that. The fact of the matter is they've just done a great, great job. And when I look at it, I can't help but just think to myself that if the DC Defenders are Marvel Avengers, then the New York Guardians have to be DC Comics. I mean, they've got to be the Justice League, and front and foremost, if we're looking at it, the DC Defenders are my Captain America, then the New York Guardians are my Dark Knight. They're my Batman. I'm loving it. I think that is great. It really is that persona of Gotham, of New York. And so when I look at this, and I look at the whole thing, and again, I'm comparing it to the AAF, and you can say whatever you want with that, and that's totally fine, but that's what we've got to work with here, is comparing the two. Until we get something else, that's what we're going to be comparing them to. But when I look at this, I really like the fact that, like, this is how you do a basic color scheme where there's really no colors. They tried it with the iron, and it was just way too basic. There really wasn't anything that stood out with it, whereas I like the details and the aggressiveness with giving it a really nice, strong logo. And using the strong logo on the helmet, they knocked it out of the park. The helmet is probably one of my favorites, if not my most favorite helmet that I like. They did a fantastic job. It's simple, it's clean, there's not a lot happening, but it's vicious, it's scary, and it really reminds me, again, DC Comics, Dark Knight, Batman, lurking in the shadows, ready to take on whatever's coming and just pounce on them and take them out. So I love those two factors in this, and that's how they center everything else around that with it. So if I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to give them a score of a 95. It's a really, really good helmet. They did a fantastic job with the helmet. All right, so let's go ahead and let's look at the home uniform. What do I think of the home uniform? If you're going to take old school stylistic and add it with new school, this is the way that you do it. Okay, so when we looked at the helmet is new school. That's the way that it is, and that's how it looks. That's how it feels. The home uniform, the accents, the lines, the stripes, everything screams old school here, but in a good way. The way that they've done it well. It's kind of interesting too. So they've kind of done some things that we're not normally used to. So a lot of times when you see the stripes actually on the sleeve and not actually up on top of the shoulder. I like the fact that they moved the stripes on top of the shoulder, and they've got those gray stripes with the red stripe in the middle that really sets them off. It really makes it pop. I really, really like that. And also, too, this gray seems to have a little bit, and it might not, might be me looking at it. It just seems to have a little bit of shine to it to make it look not so dingy as we've seen in kind of other uniforms and things. I really like it. And then on the sleeve, we get the logo. So they continue on the logo down there, which is totally fine with me. I like the logo. I like all of the Guardians logos. They look fantastic. They look great, and that. So I love that. The XFL, it's okay with me. The logo for the XFL is okay with me. I probably would have changed it up, maybe used the red for the X, but having the black with the red outline the X, I'm not really going to go ahead and knock them for that. I think that they did a good job with that. I like in the V of the neck, I like them using that V logo. It's kind of that secondary logo that came out that we that we kind of saw through the whole trademark thing, and then it showed up on their website and stuff like that. I really like that, and again, that gives me that Egyptian feel, and also to kind of the symmetry that they're working with. Again, I don't know, it cries kind of ancient Egyptian to me, and so I like that. I like how so. With the old school kind of uniforms, they've got the black pants and the black kind of flowing together. But what they did is they didn't run the stripe up the jersey. They kind of let the pants be themselves with those thick stripes down the pants, and then the thick solid socks and that. It really is a nice. It's a nice classic football uniform look. Really nice, really sharp. The letters, I really like the letters in it. I like the fact that they really shine. The red with the black and the silver really pops. The way that they use the red here, they don't overdo it, but they do it just enough to when you see the red just kind of is this. It sets everything off. It kind of gives it a little bit of a pizzazz. I think that again, comparing to the AAF and looking at the Birmingham Iron stuff and what they had, it really does kind of add just that little bit of just kind of pizzazz, that sprinkle on top that you need just to give it a little bit of character, just to give it a little bit of something to look at so that it's not just bland. I felt like the AAF Iron was bland. This is not. Like I said, it's aggressive, it's striking. I really like it. I like the way that the black flows throughout everything. I think they're going to look vicious on the field. I think that it's going to look fast, it's going to look exciting, and I think that it's going to be really neat to see the guys out on the field in these uniforms. I think it's going to be a nice real contrast, especially to a lot of the more vibrant colored teams that we have. I think it's really going to set them off from the other teams, so I think that this is definitely a really good look to them. I'm going to give it a 92. All right, let's go ahead and then let's finish it up with the away uniform. What do I think of the away uniform? Finally, we're getting a nice look with the gray. Now, they went throughout the whole thing with the gray. I probably would have went with the black pants and stayed with the black pants. But with them doing with the black stripes and kind of putting the black stripes where the gray stripes were and kind of just flopping the gray and the black, I'm okay with that. I like the way that they did the logo. So they kind of made, whereas the logo was silver on the black jersey, whereas now on the sleeves we've got we've got kind of a black outlined logo, and I like that. I think it looks really nice. Now the XFL logo on this uniform here, because it's gray with the black X, stands out. I like the way they did it. It looks really sharp, really nice to me. I like the black letters with the red outline. I think it looks nice. The gray jersey looks really good. The only knock I have are the pants. The pants, I would like to have had the stripes down the side be the gray, have the black pants with the red. I think that would have been really sharp. I think it would have definitely flowed with the classic look, and really married it kind of together with that modern helmet. I think it would have done a really, really good job. However, I will say that the black socks with the gray looks really good. It's still really clean. This jersey doesn't look dingy to me. A lot of it has to do because they have the black kind of undertones to add to it to kind of make that gray kind of come off the paper, so to say. So it's not, it just doesn't look dingy. It looks really nice, really sharp. I want to see how these gray jerseys look in the sun. I really want to see when they catch the sun if they sparkle or not with that, because that might make them look a little bit better to me. Right now, you can't really tell with these concept type of photos and that whether or not they're really going to shine or not, but I think that it looks good. It's still clean cut. There are a few things that I wish that they would have changed that would have made it a whole lot better for me, but overall I think they did a good job, and I'm going to give it a 90 overall. All right, so let's go ahead and let's recap what we've gone over here. So we've got a helmet at a 95, we've got the home jersey looking at a 92, and then for the away jersey, we've got a 90 for an overall score of just over 92. We got a 92.33. I think that's a really good score. Like I said, I really like this. I really like everything about what New York's doing with this. I think that not only have they brought back a team to New York where I think New York's going to rally around this team, but I think that people are going to find this team attractive because of the color scheme, because of how aggressive of a logo that it has. And I think that this is going to be one of the teams that people are just they're going to kind of like because of kind of that whole persona that they're putting out there. I love the Egyptian vibes with it. I love the fact that we're kind of, those kind of angles and cuts that they've done to give it that Sphinx type of look. I really like that. And definitely paying homage to like New York and that guardian and those stone structures and the gargoyles and all that. It really, really nice, just hitting on really nice points there. And then tying that in, and they might not have done any of this, I don't know, but that whole Dark Knight and meshing that up with the Guardian's name and kind of having that Batman feel and kind of Gotham City and all of that and the DC Comics thing. Like I said, it just gets kind of, my whole, nerd side, going on that with it. I really, really like it, and I really like the way that they've done this with the New York Guardians. I think they did a good job, and I think this is going to be one of the better looking teams out there on the football field. All right, guys, that's what I think. The question is, what do you think? I'd love to know down in the comments section. Let me know what your thoughts are, because I know sometimes you guys really like what I say, and other times you really don't like it at all. You guys think totally different, so I'd love to hear that. All right, well, I know that you're busy and know that I'm busy, so let's get on out of here. You have a good night. Bye.